Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. So, I wanted to make another hypothetical type of video today because I realized that a while ago I talked about what if Activision sold Call of Duty to somebody, and obviously I've made a video also entitled "Why Activision Would Never Sell Call of Duty." So, but the thing is, I kind of started thinking a little bit in my fantasy because today I am off from work, which is probably the only day that I will fully have off from work until further notice, until everything gets finalized at least. So my fantasy starts to kind of run wild a little bit, and I thought I'd share it with you a little bit, and also at the same time I would get input from you guys as well. And the thing is, obviously, as of recently, you guys know that Bungie and Activision have kind of split up, and Bungie has enough money to make it on their own, to do self-publishing or whatever the deal is. And, you know, I mean, granted, I think a lot of us wish that would happen to COD. And the thing is, I'm thinking that, well, what if a publisher wasn't needed? What if Treyarch and Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward had enough to basically make it on their own, or if they didn't need publishing or whatever the hell the deal is? I mean, I don't fully understand like the ins and outs of all the political stuff or whatnot. All I know is I think, to my knowledge, the way it works is if you don't have enough money to run on your own or whatnot, you need some sort of publisher. Now, obviously, I think Call of Duty is Activision's baby because they've always been the ones to be the publishers from the start, if I'm not mistaken. So, but the thing is, let's take half of that out. Let's just say that there was no publisher. Let's just say that Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Infinity Ward managed to make it on their own. Now, granted, if a publisher was never ever needed, or if Activision never existed, or whatever way you want to put it, obviously Vince Zampella and Jason West would have never left, and that was kind of what yesterday's video is about, which I think brings us to an understanding as of why I'm making this kind of video, because it's kind of like completing the whole conversation from every single angle. So if it was just Treyarch and just Sledgehammer and just Infinity Ward making their games with 100% freedom to do exactly whatever the hell they wanted to do, what do you guys think COD would be like today? I know that if that was the case, especially this year, I know that COD would definitely not be like Call of Duty today, because as you guys know, there were rumors obviously about how COD was going to be like a mixture of Rainbow Siege and Overwatch. And speaking of Rainbow Six, did I say Rainbow Siege? Rainbow Six Siege. The thing is that some of you guys have even been saying in the comment section that, hey, I play Rainbow Six if it wasn't for COD. So I think Activision needs to take notes and kind of look at that game and go from there. Now remember, don't forget, Activision takes notes the way they want to take notes, okay? In other words, they're only concerned about the money. So if Fortnite, for instance, is doing something that's making them money off of microtransactions, right? Activision is going to put their own little spin on it, and they're going to use their own clever way to try to take advantage of the money situation as much as possible, and you get kind of what we have right now today with the whole black market. And oh, by the way, what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's that's mostly Activision, or do you guys think that it's 50-50 in terms of Activision and Treyarch in terms of designing the whole black market and business deals with all that kind of shit? Let me know what you guys think. But anyway, back on the subject here. So obviously Black Ops 4 this year would have been quite different if there was no publisher and Treyarch was allowed to do whatever the hell they wanted to do 100% of the way of what they wanted to do in the first place. I also think that Battle Royale was going to exist as well, one way or another, because it's a moneymaker, and one of the ways you got to survive and keep on making money and all that kind of bullshit is to basically go where the money's at. And Battle Royale, let's be honest here, makes a shit ton of money. In terms of Infinity Ward and with Sledgehammer, that's where it kind of gets interesting, especially now that Sledgehammer doesn't have Condrey and Schofield anymore, and somebody else is in charge. And quite frankly, from everything that I've seen in videos, and myself included in my opinion, I mean, they improved the game as much as they possibly could without changing the maps or anything like that. Or what the game's bones were made out of, because you can't replace that. I mean, it would take way too much time. But in terms of patching, my goodness, you couldn't do any better than they did in terms of trying to turn the game around and make the game better and make the fans happy and all that kind of stuff, and doing what the fans have requested. So if you think about it, like if there was no publishing behind everything, man, I think Sledgehammer would really they'd really hit it home, and with a sledgehammer, so to speak. God knows what it would be like. It really makes you think. It really would be interesting. We would truly be getting, like, if you guys think the 3 Call of Duties that we're getting now, that they're making, are so different from one another, I honestly think that they would be even more different. I kid you not. We would literally be getting a truly different flavor of Call of Duty every single year. I personally think that because Zampella and West would have never left, I think that they would have, obviously they would probably be the more traditional Call of Duty, and with the inspiration that Treyarch takes from other games and how they implement it into their own, I think they would be the most different. And then Sledgehammer, I really don't know. That's the big question mark. Sledgehammer would be the biggest question mark, because they're the ones, like, if you just think about it in terms of trying to give fan service and all that kind of stuff. I mean, seriously, I don't know. And at the same time, the new Infinity Ward, the guys that we got now, the ones that were praying give us a damn good Call of Duty next year, and the ones that, you know, we're looking back now and we're like, you know what, maybe even with the space theme and stuff like that, when you look at them for what they tried to do and tried to make us happy, you know, I guess they're not as bad as we thought, and hopefully they can give us a good Call of Duty this year, and hopefully Activision doesn't interfere too much. But yeah, we know how that goes. But I don't know. I mean, the Infinity Ward that we got today they probably wouldn't exist, to be honest, or they would be part of the Sledgehammer group. I don't know, and they would have a much bigger studio. But it is a very interesting topic, is it not? I mean, just how different Call of Duty would be. I mean, if we thought that the advanced movement was something that made Call of Duty so different, whether it was one iteration over the next, I honestly believe that if we didn't have Activision, and which obviously would cause Zampella and West to stay, and it was just them providing the money and everything like that for their own games, the developers themselves, man, I think we would have a hell of a lot more diversity in Call of Duty than we do today. And God knows how the esports side of things would be too. That's another thing. Esports, I think, would have been a little bit more different than it is now. But it is what it is, and it is an interesting subject, is it not? And you guys are also very informative, and you guys have an imagination of your own and a fantasy of your own, which sometimes you talk about to me in the comment section or even on Twitter. So let me know, what do you guys think? And let your imaginations run wild, and let it be known down in the comment section. And that's all I got for this one, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, let me know, and if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better. I'll catch you guys on the next one.